I promise you, I have never been more excited to film an episode of my show before because this is the Soul Sister Reboot special. Oh my goodness, I am here with three of my nearest and dearest queen besties. We have done incredibly powerful, deep Ayurvedic Panchakarma cleanses in the jungles of Bali together. We have partied at the Party Rock Mansion together, been in each other's weddings. We have conjured so many powerful life transformations in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I could go on and on and on. I am so excited to be here on set with none other than conscious pop singing sensation, activist and entrepreneur, Tara Mackey.
Oh, my love.
And #1 rated podcast host of Highest Self, best-selling author, and amazing spiritual teacher, Sahara Rose. The crowd is just going wild for everyone. I can hear it. And authentic, powerful yogi, tantrika, global meditation teacher, and international speaker, Queen Rosie Acosta. Hello. I mean,
Hi.
What a crew.
We're here.
What a freaking crew I've got.
Right.
I am so, thank you, sisters. What an honor. Like, this is such a special moment for me. You know, you guys know pretty much everything about me. You know my passion and television and living my mission in Dharma. And to be able to sit, like, I could really, for real, get emotional. It's a moment for me to be doing my Earth mission here, sitting with you sisters. So thank you guys so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for
having
us, babe.
Yes,
We're gonna
yes.
try and keep it together.
Yeah.
No, don't try and keep it together. Let's show them the real deal.
Oh, boy.
She's like,
Oh, boy.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
So I'm curious, you know, clearly we've lived a lot of lives together, and I just want to start with something light and playful. When I ask you guys how it feels that we have reunited this lifetime, what's the one word that comes to you? How does it make you feel that we're back together?
Oh, mine is powerful.
Ooh. It feels like family, actually. It really just feels like family, like I found you guys.
Thankfully, right?
Yeah.
Mine is ease, and I just want to share how like random it was that we all came together because I was gifted a panchakarma from a total stranger, and they're like, "You can bring a friend." I was like, "Could I bring 2 friends?" They're like, "Sure." I'm like, "Could I bring 3 friends?" They're like, "Okay, we're gonna cut it right there." So I had known you
3
guys
friends
all
max.
from individual places, and you
Yes.
were all just people I wanted to spend more time with, but I hadn't gotten to. I met Alyson in New York at a friend's book launch. I did podcasts with Rosie. Tara, I just knew for years, but since she lived in San Diego, we didn't get like in-person time really. Yeah. So I just randomly decided to ask you 3 to come on this Panchakarma with me, and I think it was your first times meeting.
Yeah. No, you were.
Well, no, we hadn't known each other.
We did a podcast together, but we hadn't met in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had known of each other, but
Yeah.
you, with your incredible tapped into source abilities, like I was with you at your place actually when you were like, I got invited, like, do you want to come? And I'm thinking of inviting Tara and Rosie, and I was like, sure, let's do this. And here we are. Like, so thank you for
And
being
it's always
here.
just been so easy. And like now I've seen like with different groups of friends, it's just not always like that. So it just like happened to be like divinely orchestrated that all 4 of us would come together for many more Panchakarmas to come.
Yes. So
If you have a Panchakarma center, we are available.
We'll be there.
holler
We'll be
at
there.
3 of us. We will be there. So I would love to briefly dive into, and you guys share a little bit about why you think it's so important to find your soul sisters and to have this kind of community. Because I know what my life was like before and after we united, and it's game changing.
Yeah.
So why do you think it's so important to find your women friends?
This is unlike any relationship I've ever had with anyone, and it's propelled my life in a direction that I literally have no idea where I would be without you guys, without the advice, without the ideas, without the brainstorming, without, you know, bouncing business ideas off each other and personal issues off each other and getting advice and love from each other all the time and being just unconditionally supported, where I don't have to worry, not for 1 second, where this information is going to go. It's like, it's always stayed between us. We've never fought. We've never like, I just know we all have the highest intentions, not only for ourselves, but each other. And there's so much comfort in that. And so I would say, like, if you're looking for more ease and comfort in life, like Sahara said, like, find your tribe, or if you already have your tribe, make sure you take the time to cultivate those relationships and stay in touch with each other. And, you know, when a few days go by, I'm always just like, I know I was just on our group text like, hi, miss you guys. Like, I have nothing
Here's a
of
weird
importance to
gif.
say, but
I know, right?
here's something to make you smile today, just because I don't want us to lose the flow of our relationship, because I feel like it is sort of one big relationship and it's so important to all of our lives.
It's a living, breathing entity.
It is, yeah.
It is.
Mhm. Yeah, and I've
when
never
one
had
of-
that.
And when one of us is missing, it's just like, wait, what's happening? Like when you were missing.
Well, and that's what I was going to share. Is
Yeah,
that
you're the only one that puts your phone down. We're always there.
well, it's because I get transported in these portals, and I'm just like, but I'll check in. I'll be like, guys, I'm in a portal right now. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, now you let us know. But for that one,
Yeah.
I was texting Tara separately. I'm like, what's going on with Alyson?
I know.
We can't
I'm like,
find
I'm
her.
just gonna ask in the group
Just
text.
gonna ask.
We're just gonna put a police report, Amber Alert out for
Leave it on
Alyson.
there 2 days. Something's really wrong.
Responded to our GIF in 12 minutes. What's up?
Amazing. But it is life changing. And so I want to do a quick little fun thing, a rapid fire thing. I'm going to put out a couple of categories, and we just blurt out like whose name goes to this category.
Ooh, I like that.
Best twerker.
Sahara.
I had to
It's in
start
a
that.
competition, but Rosie follows.
Yes.
Rosie doesn't need
Good
to
question.
twerk. She
I don't
just
need
got
to
that ass. I'm like doing handstands, gymnastics, like trying to make something.
I
new.
just show up
She
in
just shows
class
up.
and I'm like,
She's a natural.
So good. Thank you for
Gifted.
introducing the art of twerk
Oh,
to me. And-
Sacred art of twerk.
yeah,
Sacred art.
amazing. Okay, who gets the award for fueling your fire?
Oh.
I feel like we all like kind of show up
We
in
all
different
do.
I
ways.
think
Yes.
everybody gets that award.
Like
Yeah.
Tara gets those awesome like texts that are like,
Oh my
yeah,
"You were
God.
born for this moment."
You remember who
She
you
turns into
are.
Tony Robbins,
Yeah.
but like a preacher, Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
She does. That's really good.
Fashion stylist. Who would you hire to style you?
I'd hire you.
I'd
Oh, okay.
I mean, girl.
Cheers to that. Actually, let's take that time.
Yeah.
I'm going to cheers with my organic tips and tea. You guys
Oh,
are
I
going to
love
get
this
some
tea.
at your
Cheers. So
homes
good.
delivered to you. It's my favorite.
you.
So
Cheers, loves.
cheers to that, and me being a fashion stylist for my sisters. It's true.
Love that.
And I think I know who we're all going to vote for this next one. Who would you want to decorate your home?
Rosie.
I would vote for myself. For that.
I love it.
Home decorator extraordinaire.
Not Tara.
No. Unless you want your
just
house
leave the
decorated with
boxes.
Amazon
Yeah.
boxes, don't come to me.
And so let's get into something a little bit deeper now. And it's something that we laugh a lot about and talk in really deep ways about. And it's living our dharmas. You know, you dropped in, you texted us one day and you're like, I'm living my dharma like a mofo. And I was like, I'm putting that in my energy forecast. And then like, I think we all got inspired from you saying that one text today. And I think it's so incredible when I think back to, of course, universe united us and past lives united us and all of this stuff. But it's really grounding and very deep that we all come from these backgrounds where we've all had to transcend a lot. You know, whether it's growing up in East LA during like the time of a lot of gangs and, you know, that was, I can only imagine, you know, how hard that was for you, and overcoming addictions in our families and families who have, you know, immigrated and having to transcend lineage things and, you know, childhood traumas and woundings. I mean, you name it. When I felt into where we've all come from and the gravity of what we were born into and the way we have evolved and ascended, it's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that that's part of what adds so much to our group is we all see each other in the light of that transformation and still transforming. And I think that that's one of the greatest things that I've found value in our relationship together is that there is this just unsurmountable amount of support and understanding and being able to see each other for who and what we are, I think is something like very special.
Really special. Anybody else have anything percolate up when I was talking about our dharmas and where we come from?
Well, I think it's also the fact that we all kind of came into our friendships doing our dharmas, so we all supported each other. I think a lot of people, when it's like maybe one person who is and one person who isn't, there's a little bit of like weirdness happening of, oh, well, why aren't you available at 5 p.m. for our happy hour? And it's like, we understand, like if someone's super busy and like can't answer for a while or can't make this, like we understand because we all came in with these babies that were our soul's missions. And I think that as, you know, not just career-oriented women, but women who are walking their life on the sacred path. We understand the conviction that takes, that when it's like coming to, oh, should I, do this or like take a vacation or Dharma, like most people would be like, take a vacation, but we're like, sometimes like, no, you got to do your Dharma, even if it's not the easiest thing right now, because we know we want the best for that person.
Absolutely. So I would love for you guys to briefly share with viewers and the world what your Dharma is. I know it's so hard to articulate in human words and to consolidate, but share a bit about what your medicine and magic is, Rosie.
Oh, God. I'm like, can you start over there? I think that part of what I love to do is to just be able to facilitate a space where people could have a deep connection to who and what they really are. And through either yoga or meditation or just self-inquiry, one of my big missions is coming from a place where I suffered from PTSD and trauma, and we're in a world where we're constantly stressed out and there's just a lot of things happening in the world, just to get people into a state of calm and ease to be able to just rise to who they are, their highest self. So
And I also love the Tantrika queen in you too. Like I get so inspired every time. Like even when I'm not in your presence, like I'm just continuously inspired by that aspect of you. It teaches me so much.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that I will forever, even though I've been studying Tantra for like 10, 11 years, it's still something that I feel very much a student of, but it's something that has completely transformed my life, just really understanding how Tantra works and the different ways that we can utilize these ancient practices to continue to up-level our lives. Level up. Tara Mackey.
Sorry. Shouts to the new album. Out now. But speaking of, we'll transition to you. Perfect.
My Dharma. I really feel like I'm here to usher in a new level of mindfulness, right? On every level of like, here's your alternative to your health. Here's your alternative to the way that music works. Here's your alternative to your nutrition or what your next step is.
You put the twist on the thing.
Little bit of a twist.
Or a big twist.
And on everything, right? Like, here's your alternative to breast implants. Here's your alternative to how your skincare works. Like, I honestly feel like my mission is to give people...
Even here's your alternative to regular marriage.
Right, here's your alternative to regular marriage. I think I've lived, and because I've lived all of it, not only is, science my background, but the fact that I've lived it is like, I feel like I'm just here to be a testament to like, if you want to change anything in your life, I've written books on it, I've made music, I've created products that tell the tale that you can start over and be successful. And I think that what people need the most is hope. And I honestly think that that's my Dharma, is to give people hope in various media, because not everyone reads books. Not everyone listens to pop music.
Right.
Not everyone is female and needs, most of my products. So I think the idea that I've been gifted all these ways to bring the same message to people is not a coincidence at all. And I have to use all of those gifts to usher in that message so that it reaches as many people as humanly possible.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Amen.
Yeah, I believe that my Dharma is the same as everyone else's, which is to raise consciousness. But I think that we all are just doing it in unique ways. So my Dharma specifically is to be the voice, to be the bridge between the ancient Vedic wisdom and the modern world, and to also make it fun. So my book right now that I'm writing is called Discover Your Dharma. So I've been really diving into this topic, or whether it's yogic path or Ayurveda or anything, but just to kind of like take or channel these Vedic understandings and make it super palatable as tips and tea, but like, so people are like, oh my God, I get it. It's easy. This works for me.
Yes. And I'm sitting here living my Dharma,
Like a mofo.
Like a mofo. And it's just like such a blessing and an honor. I'm also a bridge and an instrument uniting the worlds, being a bridge for indigenous practices and teachings and the oldest spiritual practice on the planet of shamanism and then other forms of mysticism, and bringing them into the mainstream and the masses through various forms of media. And I feel most at home being my shaman self on a TV set. So here we are doing it.
Yes, amen, girl.
I feel inspired. I'm so glad that you brought your new deck.
Yes.
We have some time, and this is actually the first time that I've seen it. So I'm going to talk to camera, which is this one. And I've been so excited because Sahara has had this deck in development for so long. She asked for a picture of me, and then I kind of just forgot and didn't know if I was going to make it into the deck. I made it into the deck.
Of course you did.
I got a card in Sahara's new deck called A Yogic Path. And honestly, I'm not just saying this because you're my soul sister, this is the most gorgeous deck I've ever seen.
really
So
is.
pretty.
It's stunning.
Every card is so gorgeous.
What was the inspiration?
I actually channeled all 54 cards, 108 meanings in one go in India. When I was shooting my last book, Eat, Feel Fresh, I was in Kerala, South India, which is really where, Ayurveda's from. And then I just thought about, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if there was a deck? And then they all just came to me, and I just started, I was there to write that book, and I'm just I wrote, all of them came through. And it was almost like when you're in alignment with your Dharma, it can be so smooth and so easy, and that's experiencing the Kriya, the synchronicities when you're in flow. So, so later I went back and, wrote the meanings and how to work with them more, but the cards exactly stayed as original to that direct channel, and then worked with this amazing illustrator who does Star Child Tarot, Moon Child Tarot, a lot of popular decks, and we took ancient sculptures that are actually from the Vedic times, so from 2,000 to 5,000 years ago, to depict these deities and
It's incredible.
these different meanings, and brought them to modern life with cool psychedelic collage.
And I like how I'm very particular with how decks feel in my hands.
Yeah.
I really like how this one feels in my hands.
Yes.
So I can tell, I know how meticulous you are. So thank you for being so mindful with every detail. So let me tune in. I'm just going to anchor into earth, rise up through my central line, take my light beam up to source. Okay. Going to tap in, ask this incredible deck to reveal the card that wishes to pop out during Soul Reboot. Let's see what we got here.
Oh my God, Alyson, I love you.
I love you guys. Oh, so we've got two. Let's see what we got here. I hope it's my card. I hope it's Rosie's card. I hope it's Rosie's card.
I knew it was going to be Rosie's card. I knew it.
So
I
crazy.
knew it.
That is insane.
I was about to whisper to you, it's your card.
So
That is
this
so crazy.
picture is of Rosita.
Yes.
It's like my second favorite card on the deck. It's gorgeous. It's the Kundalini. So share a little bit about why you think Kundalini came out for us today.
Well, Kundalini is the serpent-like energy that exists in all of us at the root of our spine. So when we experience an awakening, which, Alyson is all about, that's our Kundalini, our Shakti merging with our Shiva consciousness through this serpent-like energy. So it can feel really ecstatic and euphoric, but also crippling and painful, depending how the container is opened.
Yeah.
So I think we pulled this card because, you listener, watcher out there are probably going through some sort of awakening at this time. So it's just to remind you to allow that energy to move through and to be really patient and allow its subtleties to activate each of the chakra point that it awakens, and not to rush the process. And that naturally will all unfold.
I literally, right when you said not to rush the process, I heard clairaudiently, and I was going to say to them, trust the process. Trust the process. And then card number 2. I feel like I'm a game show host now. We've got Kriya. Oh.
This is actually, I was just talking about it. It's my favorite card in the deck because it's to live in flow, in alignment with your Dharma. So it's when doors just start opening and you meet the right people at the right time, and, things that you could have never planned for yourself are just happening to you. And that's when the universe is propelling you in that direction because you're in alignment with your Dharma. So it's how life was meant to be lived, but most of us haven't fully opened ourselves up to receive that level of flow. But when we do, we're like, wait, it's supposed to always feel like this.
Right.
It's just a whole other level of, I'm thinking about it, I'm wanting it, and it shows up because it's in alignment with what is for the best of all.
And in that co-creative dynamic with all that is, it just becomes this glorious, miraculous river.
Yeah.
And I just yesterday was reminding myself, I was feeling a little crunchy, I was a little on edge in the morning. And so I tuned into myself, and I just got this vision of me just releasing back into the river, and just surrendering into that place. And then I was good. I was good to go. So the last little thing I want to touch on, because maybe people are inspired and they're just like, oh my gosh, I want to find my soul sisters. I want to find my queen besties as well. Share a little bit, like one little piece of advice. How can people unite and find their tribe?
reach out. Like, honestly, that's been huge for me. Like, I've spent so long being like, I want to be friends with these people. And then I finally reach out in one way or another, whether it's just like a comment on Instagram to let them know, by the way, I exist. And it's a thoughtful comment so that they actually know you're paying attention.
Yeah.
And that's turned some of my greatest mentors into my best friends. And I think that's really, people really underestimate how much people want to find their own tribe and add to it as time goes on and find people that they can trust. And like, if you're really doing the work, you'll find other people recognize that immediately and like want to be around it. And it doesn't matter if you don't feel like you're there yet, like just reach out and try.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I think that being responsible for the energy that you bring to a relationship is really important. You know, like just knowing that when you're trying to find a group of women or a friend, that you really take stock to who and what you have to offer, not as a thing, but like, what is your value? How are you going to enrich this person's life? Because so many times we go into relationships thinking, how is this person going to make me better? Or how can they help me? And instead, changing it and thinking, how can I add value to this person's life? How can I help them? How can I support them? How can I show up for
What
them?
do they need today?
Yeah.
You're great at that.
You are.
You radically love us. What about you, SR?
Yeah, I think, tap into existing communities, especially if it's something that you support, like an organization. I created one called Rose Gold Goddesses, which is around the goddess, but there's so many communities that already exist of like-minded people. And if you can tap into that, you're going to open yourself up to not only the network in that community, but all of those people that they know. And you already know that you have like one solid thing that you share.
I have another idea. You can also go to dance parties together. So if I could have a hit it. Oh.
Hey.
We're just going to take a few seconds to have all you watching vibe with us because this is Tara Mackey's new song. Don't want none. I don't need no Bugatti, none of these things to find me. What? I don't need no Bugatti, none of these things to find me. I'm high on the outside, but I'm rich inside. I don't need no Bugatti, none of these things to find me. Hey, you took all my pieces. Oh man, hey. Tara, take it. But I still keep a rich garden. What? Made a mill, I don't need a Rari. That you don't know my story. Hey, I've been pounding sorry. I'm gonna go to the party. Okay, I could do this all day. I'm gonna take it out. You guys, please visit AlysonCharles.com or RockstarShaman.com for all the good things, magic things in life, supporting nonprofits, you name it. Thank you all so much. Please,
I love
go to all their
You're
Instagrams.
amazing.
I'll tag you all. Find them all. They are the most divine beings walking the planet. So thank you guys for tuning in. And until next time, sending love, light, and highest blessings to you.